Hey everyone, welcome back to Living in Power Today. I'm Susan Peters Chesley, your ASD Master Coach, growing in self acceptance of my own ASD traits just like you. Now, in this series, we're exploring what cognitive distortions are, how they develop, and their impact on our daily lives. Today, in this episode, we're discussing catastrophizing. It's a cognitive distortion where we assume the worst case scenario will happen. If you often find yourself thinking, what if everything goes wrong? Or feeling overwhelmed by small setbacks, this episode is for you. Let's explore how to challenge these thoughts and regain a balanced perspective. Catastrophizing happens when we exaggerate the potential consequences of an event, imagining worst case scenarios as if they are inevitable. Now, I experienced this last week when after all these airplane incidents happened. So I'm supposed to be going to Seattle in May or June to see my newest um grandchild. She'll be born around that time. And I'm like, I'm not getting on a plane. I'm not getting on a plane. So, because I'm imagining the worst case scenario, we're going to fall out the sky. It's not inevitable, but I went there. So I had to really talk myself down. And I'll talk in here what I went through as well to ease my mind. I want to share those steps with you. But this kind of thinking can make small problems feel massive and keep us stuck in a cycle of anxiety and avoidance. I was just going to avoid flying there. I can't take a train. I have to fly. I'm over 3,000 I'm over the Pacific Ocean, so I have to fly. Anyway, so let's talk about an example, another real life example. Imagine you send a message to a friend and they don't reply right away. Have you ever done this? I have. And instead of assuming they're busy, you think, oh, they must be mad at me. They hate me. It's all over. What if I ruin the friendship? Well, this kind of thinking spirals quickly and it creates unnecessary stress. So, the challenges and impacts of catastrophizing can lead to chronic stress, social anxiety, and avoidance of situations that feel risky. And for level 1 autistic adults like us, uncertainty can always feel overwhelming. Excuse me. And we are, so when we start feeling overwhelmed, the first thing we want to do is avoid, avoid situations, avoid people, um, and just hide away. And so when our brains jump to the worst case conclusions, it reinforces these fear and self-doubts that we're experiencing through all of this. But the good news is they're just thoughts. These thoughts are just thoughts. They do not define reality. So, what do? How do you reframe um, your thoughts? Well, to manage catastrophizing, try what I call reality testing. Ask, what's the actual likelihood of this happening? It's probably very slim. What evidence do I have for and against this fear? And I mean, really write it down. Write down all the evidence that you have. If you don't have any, there you go. And another um, strategy is scaling the problem. So, what I do is rate the situation on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being a minor inconvenience, 10 being a true crisis. An inconvenience is someone doesn't call you back in the time frame you think they should. That's an inconvenience. A crisis is, um, you know, there's a major accident going on. Maybe there's a fire in your house. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a major problem. So you have to start realizing that the problem is not as big as it feels in the moment. Um, if it's not a true catastrophe, it's your thinking. So finally, what I suggest and follow in my own words as well is practice mindfulness and grounding exercises. Now, mindfulness isn't just, sitting in a yoga position or sitting in a quiet. It's being aware um, of what you're thinking. So when catastrophic thoughts take over, focus on the present, what you know to be true right now. Deep breathing and self-soothing techniques can also help bring your mind back to reality. As autistics, we have many different self-soothing techniques. As a child, I used to suck my thumb forever. Um, and some self-soothing techniques I do now, you might see me doing my hands like this when I'm anxious, or um, you know, I might shake my leg. Oh, my brother, he would cross his leg and just shake, 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 shake. And we would ask, just stop. He's like, stop what? He wasn't aware of it. He was self-soothing. So if it's not bothering somebody else, you self-soothe the way you want to self-soothe. But my Just Breathe Anxiety podcast here on the channel, it teaches a few grounding techniques in 5 minutes or less. It's not a big podcast. It's 3 or 4 um, episodes, and it's just your basic grounding techniques. They're easy to do and really help you to calm and center yourself when you're in crisis moments. I didn't make a whole lot of them because it's not necessary. What you can do is just go over the ones over and over again you until you can do it automatically without watching the video or following any prompts. And that's why I only made like 4 or 5, because it's not a whole lot to do, but you learn those 5 techniques and you use them at any time or any place because it's not disturbing anyone. They're very quiet, they're very calm, and they will center you during catastrophic moments. So catastrophizing, it can make the future feel really scary. But remember, thoughts are not facts. You have the power to shift your perspective and approach challenges with confidence. So in the next episode, we'll talk about mind reading and assumptions. And I know you've done it because I've done it too. Everybody is a mind reader, and we all already know about what we say about assuming. Yeah. And how to avoid jumping to conclusions about others. Some people call it that as jumping to conclusions, but it's assumptions. So don't forget to check the link in the description or the pinned comment, wherever that is, whichever platform you're on, for a printable worksheet and a challenge to become aware of your biased thoughts. Now, it's the same printable worksheet each presentation. So if you've downloaded it once, that's it. But you are to use it every day. That's why I put it on here. This is actually going to be a 10-part series. So when it's done, I'd like you to do it as a 10-day challenge. It will become that at the end when I finish posting those up. So for 10 days, make sure you use your printable worksheet and challenge your thoughts. Become aware of your biased thoughts. So if this resonated with you today, let me know in the comments how you're managing your thought processes. Are these some of the things that you have experienced? And what's been helping you move out of the assumptions and fear? So let's support each other through this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if on fan base, hearts are always appreciated. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. See you next time. Aloha.